set up Israel in the first place? And you go back to the Second World War. In the Second World War, Britain was losing. And I think the name was some name like Greenwald in the British government. He sent a letter to Roosevelt, and he sent a letter to the Jews of America. And he said to them, you support Britain against Germany, and we will make sure you have your place in the New World Order. So it wasn't the Balfour Declaration so much as the ruling government of Britain promised the Jews Israel in the Second World War. And Israel is supported by America and British establishment. And even the UK Independence Party, it went to a meeting in a Jewish school in North London where the Jewish Chronicle was present, and they said, the UK Independence Party said, we support the whole Jewish immigration into this country. So, in order to stand as an anti-immigration party in this country, UKIP has to support Jewish immigration. It's not fair. You've got to restrict fairly all types of immigration.
What to China and say, I am hungry, give me one plate of what?
Well, my relatives are from China, right?
Where in this country?
I'm English. I'm English Scottish.
I don't want any immigrants.
I'm married Chinese, right? So I've got an idea of what goes on in China. And one good thing about China, all the Chinese you meet in London, they don't want to fight each other. They all call themselves Chinese. But where Britain goes in the world, it wants to stir one tribe up against another tribe, like the Middle East, and they fight each other. But China, they're all Chinese basically, and they're not religious. They're more or less like me, got no religion, you see. And that's the sort of society I'd like throughout the world. A secular society where the people are nationalistic, they put themselves first, but China's not aggressive, it doesn't send troops in other countries, right? But you can criticise a lot of their policies and all that, but I don't want to see a civil war in China. And another thing is, this big corporations they're called kleptocrats. The people that run government in Britain and America, they got so much power and money, and they want more power and money. It's like a mental illness. And they're the same people in government, and the same people in banking, and the same people that control everything in the Western world. This handful of wealthy people.
What's the solution?
The solution is nationalism. Nationalism is where you have the best of your people in your country run your country, whatever country you are in the world.
Who are the best for this country?
Well, you have to. I'm not saying now, but you have to get the best. They're certainly not the Labour or the Conservative Party who are out for themselves. UKIP, I say to people, join UKIP, but don't trust the leadership. Rather than sit round and do nothing, you might as well join UKIP. But one thing I do admire, the new BNP leader, is going to a shrine, a Japanese shrine in Japan, to pay respect, because my uncle in the Second World War was in a ship, and his ship was torpedoed by the Japanese. But now I respect the Japanese, and I don't want a war with the Chinese and the Japanese fighting each other. So I think you should go and pay respect in the countries that used to be your enemy, you see, because someone set up that Second World War, and I don't think it was the Japanese or the Germans. I don't think it was them.
Another question. What's your view on Israel and Palestine?
Well, I never recognised Israel in the first place.
Really?
No. But it's set up by Britain and America, Israel, isn't it? And the Jewish lobby is extremely powerful. And it's not just Israel, and it's so suspicious, this, isn't it? They all go marching to the Israeli embassy, and they never march to the Jewish organisations that are behind Israel. They never go to that, you know. So it's just an embassy. When there's a demonstration, most of the people in the demonstration don't understand what it's all about. In the Vietnam War, I was leading demonstrations against the Vietnam War, and they were all set up, these demonstrations, by the Communist Party of Great Britain, the Trotskyites and the Maoists, and the British Council of Churches, and communists in the Labour Party. It's all set up. What I say, anti-war people should be nationalists like me. Sit down and look at the evil people that cause these wars.
So your view is isolationism then?
Isolationism. I'd like to turn Buckingham Palace into an area where all people get rid of the Queen, right? Where all the people sit down and investigate the origins of these wars and find out who's responsible and give evidence like in a court of law. And when you find out the people behind these wars and what their aims and objectives to, that would stop war. But it's not going to happen. People are mind controlled, they're mind controlled, and they start screaming and shouting. But they don't see the big picture. They'll get you to fight your brother. They'll get him to fight his brother. They'll get him to fight his brother. And it's the people at the top, this hidden power, will do it. You've got to be cleverer than them. To be clever, you've got to know philosophy.
So why are you against immigration? I don't understand.
No, well, I'm not against all immigration because I'm glad I've met my friend at college was Iraqi, my wife's Chinese. I know people in this clique of people I know are nurses from all countries in the world. But I don't want to be a minority in my own country. You see, I don't want to be outnumbered. I think it's my right to...
You don't find that a bit racist?
Hey?
You don't find that a bit racist?
But who thought this term up racist?
White people.
That's a communist term. They call people racist. Look, if there's somebody living in their country minding their own business, I go to Hong Kong, I went to Sham Shao Po, someone shouted out Guilo in a hostile fashion to me, which is a racist term, the way he said it. And I thought he's protected his area. Perhaps the white people that go to Hong Kong might be doing harm, I don't know. I'm not. But I can understand them Chinese being racist. When I go to China, when I go to Hong Kong, I respect the people there. I don't go to brothels, I don't go to gambling, I don't go to any of those sort of things. You know, but I mean, if that's racist, I mean.
So what kind of immigration do you support? What kind are you against?
I'd like a small number of each year of thinking people that can reason for themselves so they go back and improve their country. But I don't believe in people just coming here to make money, you know. But I think the people that come here, they come to get a degree and they're using it for selfish interests. That's wrong. I think they should get a degree in philosophy to help their own selves, their family and their country. You know, I know it's not likely to happen, but all the races in the world can live together in harmony. But not if they go flooding in other people's country, they can't. I mean...
Well, but you realise that Britain decolonized...
Well, we know all that.
So that's the reason why India has such a big tie towards England. That's the reason why a lot of them do come here.
Well, that's an excuse. The British establishment let them in. The British establishment doesn't care about Britain. The British establishment chose as a Conservative candidate a Muslim cleric in Europe that wants to build a mega mosque. The British establishment do a deal with the Muslims or the Jews or whatever. They don't care about England. My relatives joined the Conservative Party and the Conservatives are out for themselves. I love nature. My garden, I don't cut the grass in my garden more than once in 2 years. And there's like a magical feeling come from my garden. And the neighbours' cats come in and sleep there. I don't need to do meditation. I don't need a religion. Nature, the sun, the clouds, the sea, the hills, the mountains, gives you life.
Support Scottish independence?
No, I'm partly Scottish. That's a set-up.
But that's nationalism, isn't it?
No. Nationalism means you get together in your area of the world and try and be economically viable and debt-free.
That's what a lot of Scottish people feel, isn't it? Not a lot, but I know.
My relatives from Scotland, another lot, they come out with this. They go into this site and look at they don't go into the read enough. There's a set.
Global warming?
No, I think that's a hoax.
Why do you think it's a hoax?
Because they wanted a tax, an energy tax on everything in the world going through the Rothschild Bank. And I don't trust the people that run the world. If you're not politically correct, you lose your job. Yeah. I mean, I was in energy monitoring, energy conservation on Newham Council for years. I worked out our wages cost more than what they saved in money. The waste of money. The waste of money. And what I did at Newham Council, I'll tell the truth on politics, they sent me to work in an archives by myself. Yeah, I was sent to the archives. Instead of being sent to Siberia, I was sent to the archives. You know, so I improved my mind. And I read and I did a lot.
You saw the scientific research that's published about global warming though, right?
Well, I know a lot of it's a hoax, but it's not my specialised subject. It's not my specialised subject. I don't trust the United Nations. I don't trust them an inch. I think people should run their own area of the world debt-free, without borrowing money from the big Rothschilds and the banks. And then, when they're debt-free, they're free. Those countries in the world are not free, they're in debt. Yeah.
So you want debt cancellation across
debt cancellation. Yeah. Everybody knows that instinctively it's wrong to be in debt. America, the debt is going up and up and up and up. That is wrong from any point of view. And the only people that gain from that are the ones grabbing the money, isn't it? Yeah. The American nationalists are against the debt, like the American Free Press. They're against the debt.
So I'm talking about like Africa specifically.
Yeah, they should be debt free.
But they should also be given assistance, right? Or you think they don't
well,
get any assistance?
What should happen in theory, the best and most intelligent, virtuous, decent Africans, right, should get together and work out what aid they need, if they need any. But this aid, there's always strings attached. If America gives you aid, they expect you to buy through American companies or whatever. No, you got to work it out yourself if you need anything. You know, I mean, I don't need drugs of any sort. I'm 71, and don't even take an aspirin. I take nothing. You see?
As your GP said, you should take aspirin.
I keep away from doctors sometimes. The only time I went to a doctor, once in 3 years they misdiagnosed me. I had a hernia and they couldn't work out when I was sick. And I realised it's the hernia was making me sick. Anyway, I keep away from doctors.
Maybe that was just a one bad time.
Well, yeah, but luckily I'm okay. But luckily I'm all right. Luckily, I don't have any. I'm 71. I don't have any Alzheimer's symptoms or anything because every day I try to learn something.
What about other stuff like blood pressure and?
No, I'm all right. No, okay. The blood pressure's all right. Yeah.
Do you check your cholesterol and stuff?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I think I'm different to other people for some reason. You know, I don't know.
I still think you should go see your doctor.
Yeah. Would you trust a doctor?
I would.
My wife's got a blood pressure thing. She tests me. But the nurses, one nurse I know, they're told, watch out for people that talk politics, that talk a lot, that have got conspiracy theories. They're psychopaths, you see. So I went to my doctor and I said I don't believe in the vaccinations and all that, and I thought, wait a minute, I forgot. The nurses are told someone that thinks themselves and doesn't trust the system, they could be psychopaths. They're very dangerous because psychopaths are very friendly people, you see. They're mind controlled. The nurses, they're terrible. They're terrible, you know.
Well, there is a lot of, again, scientific evidence supporting vaccinations.
Well, I don't know. Some of these diseases naturally have a cycle where they die out after, they mutate and they die out after a time. I'm not an expert, but they lie on everything. The British establishment lie on everything. Why trust them on anything?
But a lot of scientists aren't politically motivated.
They want their pension when they retire. If they come out too against things, they might be in trouble. It's like teaching. They want their pension, don't they? The teachers when they retire. They're not going to put their jobs at risk.
So you don't like the NHS at all?
Well,
you don't think it has any benefits?
Yeah, I think it has got benefits.
But as a system, it should collapse.
Well, in theory, people should be self-reliant and be able in a position to get the medical treatment they want. But I accept there's a lot of poor people that can't do it. But I don't trust the National Health. I don't. Just go in the doctor's surgery and look at what they want. They forcibly vaccinated an old lady, more or less. She went into the surgery, an old lady I knew, and they just more or less gave her a flu vaccination. She didn't really want it.
Yeah, but that's illegal, is that?
No, but I don't know. It was illegal. I mean, she didn't say no. She didn't have a choice. There's the needle goes in.
Again, I don't trust the leadership in the NHS. I think the whole system is bad.
No, don't say the whole system is bad. No. It saved my life, but before the National Health, I had a collapsed lung. In 1947, before the National Health, I was sent to convalescence and nuns looked after me and got me better. Nuns, I don't know if they were Church of England or Catholic. And the Chinese in Malaysia, my wife's Chinese, they're very, very self-reliant, you know, and they don't really trust a lot of the things over there. They try and they try and help themselves through their family, which is a good idea. Good idea. Help yourself as much as possible, the people you trust, you know. But these politically correct, you got to be, to get promotion, you've got to be politically correct, haven't you? And then you get a final salary, pension, right? So you're corrupted straight away. I'm not corrupted, nobody pays me anything. I say more or less what I think.
Hallelujah.
You see?
Blessed is the Lord.
Well, yeah, you go to your meeting. Here, this black atheist meeting. You've been this black atheist agnostic thing. Yeah, see.
I want to hear about God.
Why don't I go over there and listen? Yeah, go and listen to those meetings there, you know, about God. I don't know anything about God at all. Well, it might be, I wouldn't know. I know one thing, everything is nature. Everything is nature, the sun, the trees. Well, leave the God bit out and just say nature and you'll be okay. Leave the God bit out. Because we're an animal, you're an animal. Eh? We're not an animal. Funny human beings, half of them in the park say some of them say they're animals and some say they're not. I'm an animal. Say something wrong, right? Say something wrong, right? So, the American Free Press has done a lot of investigating on this alleged terrorism in America. They frame a lot of people and get them to say they're going to do terrorist acts.
These bloody Babylonian bastards with their queen in the Buckingham Palace.
I don't agree with the Queen. I don't agree with
Let's bury her here. This is her park. Let's bury her.
My grandfather's brother.
I mean it.
My grandfather's brother was in the army, and he was based at Buckingham Palace about 100 years ago. He had to leave the window open at Buckingham Palace for one of the royal family to climb in. And then he was under psychiatric problems because he got beaten up in the First World War. And the psychiatrist was saying to him, "No, you're imagining this. It's not true." But I think it was true because a member of the royal family 100 years ago was probably carrying on with some woman and he wanted the window left open. I turned Buckingham Palace into an area for investigating the origins of war.
Let's give Buckingham Palace to the people.
No, not to the people. People don't know what to do with it. The people are ignorant. People are just as bad.
Who do you want to give it to?
Eh?
Who do you want to give it to? To me. Give it to me.
I give it to the most fitted, the best in the country. And the best in the country are those that want to find out who is behind these wars. Are these wars necessary? So I set up Buckingham Palace.
Let's get rid of Rothschild and his bloody wars.
I know that.
Rothschild, Rockefeller and their bloody
Exactly.
wars.
Yeah. So that's what I agree with.
Fuck them.
So why do you talk this about God and all that? It's a waste of time. Why didn't you just say, get rid of Rothschild?
God is good.
And I'd
Yeah,
agree with
everybody
you.
likes God. You see.
Eh?
Everybody likes God, so I talk about God.
Dogs.
God.
God. Oh, God.
They all like God, so I talk about God.
Speaker's Corner has never been any good in its history. Never. You get one good speaker, but most of the people in here worth listening to are people in the crowd that know something that you can learn from. The speakers, I don't trust any of the speakers, not one. You know, I'm not in any organisation. Don't you? Why listen to me? Because I'm on a platform.
Soon there will be World War. Rothschild and Rockefeller will start World War III.
That Malaysian airliner, the second
World
one,
War III.
I think that was a setup to blame Russia. They wanted to blame Russia. So shooting down.
Russia is rubbish too, they're all in it.
You reckon they're all together?
Nobody can be trusted. Every white country is being inundated with immigration
I know.
up to the top.
I know.
We're all being finished off.
Yeah.
Babylonian. Not Babylonian.
Well, I know. Look at it. Yeah. You can save yourself, though, can't you? You're okay. You don't have to go down. I don't have to go down. My family doesn't have to go down. But these people, they don't want to help themselves. What can you do? You have to keep away when they go down. They might take you with you. You know. But life is good. Life is really good. You know why I went on holiday for 3 days? Exmoor. Exmoor is the most beautiful open moors in Somerset. Beautiful. Walking in the open air with the animals. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Stop the Zionist wars.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Wars.
I agree with that. No, it's too late. It's too late in the day. You get a crowd at Speaker's Corner at 1 o'clock. This time you don't get a crowd. But you don't want a crowd. You just want to get intelligent people, 1 or 2. Because the crowd is always wrong. The crowd is always wrong, you know. And I got a shock. I did my family tree. Found my grandmother comes from Ireland, you know. So I think she must have been a Protestant side, Northern Ireland. So what we need to do is carry on learning all our life. Carry on studying, never give up. And they find, as you get older, life is really good. You must never get depressed. And the one cure for depression is to go walking in the countryside. And that cures it. Or walking by the sea. And have a garden, half of it is wild. For the squirrels and the animals and the birds. And so that's basically it. Yeah. So I'll have to get down for a minute now.